So YouthLink is published in The Gleaner every week on Tuesdays. And to help us celebrate and promote the work of our youth, from YouthLink coordinator Kareem LaTouche, I always have to say it as Frenchly as it sounds, who's here in studio with us, and photographer and writer Naomi Redway, who is on Skype all the way from where, Naomi? China. What? Our young people doing big things all across the world. We'll soon get to you, Naomi, but let me talk to LaTouche a little bit. Your own story with how you got involved in YouthLink is an interesting one. Tell me how you started.
So I started with my guidance counselor at JC at the time, and I was going into first year university, and he knew the editor-in-chief and said, you need to know this person. And I was doing mathematics at UWI at the time, and it was like second year, and I took on the job, and it was strenuous, but it was a great opportunity. Of course, for probably the first 2 semesters, my grade dropped, right? But it was good. It was an extraordinary opportunity because the Gleaner was giving young persons the opportunity to voice themselves and to showcase their work on a national stage, and I mean, it has always been something that I cherish.
Yeah. So you're doing math?
Yeah.
But you also have an interest in
journalism. Go figure.
You know. Okay, so what happened to the math degree?
It's still there.
Okay.
I still use it. I still have my math outreach program to help young students and primarily teens with their CSEC mathematics.
And so you've been with YouthLink now for how long?
Wow, too long, 12 years.
12 years. And how has the publication grown during that time?
So ironically, we have grown in mostly rural parishes a lot, right? We have a large contingency basically in St. Mary, in the southern parishes and so forth like that. So we have grown in rural aspects, and that's something that's very good for us and we're very happy about.
How do you keep this publication relevant, interesting to young people in an age where, you know, it's all about what's going on your cell phone? Are young people still reading? How do you keep this publication even alive?
So the first thing that we have to do is focus on teens all the while. So, I mean, Gleaner gives us this wonderful opportunity to host the teens and to put them in a constructive environment every Saturday, right? And they get to come to the Gleaner and they get to share their ideas, and that's the first thing you always have to start with. It's about what's going on in their lives, what are the things that they're doing, what are the things that they are talking about, what are the things that they are watching. And then from there we start to use our marketing strategies, and we start to use our different sales coordinators who are in the schools to push the product. But yeah, we do face some of those challenges, but as long as you have what is of interest to teens, then that's what matters. And one of the persons who you are going to interview also has his work in the YouthLink, and it's a person called David Salmon, right? So, I mean, it's just them sharing their ideas and them sharing what is happening in their world.
I'm curious as to how you come by the talent, but I'm going to jump in with Naomi to find out how she got started. It was actually through your involvement with the Jamaica National Foundation Resolution Photography Competition, Naomi, in 2013. You were 16 years old at the time. So how did that opportunity turn into this stint with YouthLink?
Well, good morning.
You have to tell us in Chinese. How you say it in Chinese?
Ni hao.
Ni hao. I knew that. I watched Kailan. Yes, go ahead.
Yes, so being that the resolution project was centered around photojournalism, it gave me the opportunity to become a member of the YouthLink team, being that the YouthLink is also very focused with journalism and reaching out to young people and, you know, expressing yourself and giving youth a voice, basically.
Yeah.
So that's
what has your area of focus primarily been? I note with particular interest. I mean, Kareem was in the middle of a math degree. You are now a third-year student, a medical student in China, but you're still working with the magazine, which is interesting. So what is your particular focus, one, and two, how you balance those two things?
Well, pretty much like you said, I'm a third-year medical student, so that's clinical medicine, and I study within China. So during the year I'm not on the island. However, when I am home, YouthLink has taught me when you see something, when you see an opportunity, you should jump on it. So sometimes I'll be home and I'll be at an event and I think to myself, okay, this is catered around youth. Maybe this would be of interest to YouthLink. Maybe this could add some value to the paper. These, especially being that I live in St. Anne and I also spend a lot of time in Trelawney, the youths in those parishes don't get to be in the limelight as much as, let's say, someone in Kingston and St. Andrew. So when I'm at those events, I just link with Kareem, Mr. LaTouche, and I say, hey, how about we do this article? So I keep or YouthLink helps me to keep the journalism alive while I'm home.
What has the experience working with the Gleaners Youth Link done for you? I know as a young broadcaster, just the opportunity to work with an organization like CPTC at the time, you probably before your time, was very instrumental in building my broadcast career. You are doing this now. Do you have hopes of kind of staying in journalism full time, or you're going medicine, but you still want to keep this in a, I mean, how do you want to progress from here?
Well, YouthLink has helped me build on a foundation that I had, starting with photography through Jamaica National Foundation. So YouthLink helped me to groom that talent and not only just be a photographer, but a photographer with a voice. And with that, it gave me life experience. So now I'm not just going to be a doctor that knows medical terminology, but I'm a doctor that knows how to engage with people, to engage with youth, know how they think and how to better interact. So that's,
love that. I love that. And lots of young people like Naomi Kareem are getting the opportunity. You found her through that competition, but how do other young people on the team, how have you scouted, how have you got talent, and how do you plan to reach out to get more? If there are people watching now who say, boy, I'd love to be a part of that program.
Right. So we have a vast network of persons in our high schools, and we correspond with a lot of the counselors, and we have a sales team that is very aggressive. So we have sales coordinators in each school, and we're always looking for outstanding students. We're looking for students who are willing to tell a story, willing to send in pictures, willing to have good research skills. So through that network, we actually reach out and we get a lot of responses every year.
Love for journalism is still there?
Love for journalism is still there. I mean, they still want to tell stories on Skype, on Facebook. I mean, so it's clear that they want to take pictures and they want to write stuff. So what we do is that at some point we pick a group of students and then we start to train them and start to teach them, you know, some of the things that they need to look out for, things that are libelous, different things like this.
Very important,
Yes,
especially in this age of social where a lot of folks are just putting stuff out there. What do we have to look forward to? 12 years later. We're looking ahead to 15, which is a milestone. I know you're going to do something big, but what do we have to look forward to for YouthLink?
So we're going to be doing our Above It All series, which was a groundbreaking series that started 2 years ago. And it highlights students who have done some phenomenal work, right? Especially experiencing extenuating circumstances. One of the persons that we featured this year, she had cerebral palsy, and she passed 5 subjects at Arden High. So we have more stories like that coming, and we're going to be.
I think we spoke to that young lady, or did we? No, that was a younger lady who had passed for Arden, I think, or had passed GSAT going on. But yes, those stories always help to uplift.
So we're building on those stories, and we're also going to be visiting a lot of schools. So look out for the YouthLink in your school. Yeah,
you look out for the YouthLink in your school. Naomi may not be there because she's in China. When do you come home, Naomi?
Well, actually, it's summer now, so I'm actually not in school.
Okay.
I return to school in September.
Okay, and when does the degree finish completely?
2022.
All right, girl. We're cheering you on. All the very best to you as you complete your medical degree in China. Proud of you. And LaTouche, continue to do what you are doing and changing the lives of young people. From the Gleaners Youth Link, photographer and writer Naomi Redway and coordinator Kareem LaTouche.